Hello, I'm Joshua.
And I'm Mary, and welcome to From the Heart.
Orlando is widely known for its tourist spots and attractions, but many people don't know about its thriving arts community.
We are excited to introduce to you talented and passionate artists who shape our arts community. How do they create and why? And how can Orlando benefit from an even greater arts presence?
On each episode, we'll meet guests who are influential leaders and artists who are truly making a difference.
From the Heart.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to From the Heart. I'm Joshua.
And I'm Mary.
We're excited to bring to you all that's new and good when it comes to the arts in Central Florida.
Today we're learning about the Orlando Ballet from their executive director, Jim Mitchell. He's here to tell us about the organization, himself, and what the future looks like for the Orlando Ballet Company. Welcome, Jim.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So, Jim, tell us about the Orlando Ballet.
40-year-old professional dance company. We have a lot of exciting opportunities on the horizon. We have a professional company of 25 dancers. We have a school, which is #1 in the nation. Most people in Orlando don't know that. 3 campuses, over 1,200 students.
Wow.
What makes it #1?
We were selected nationally there's the Youth America Grand Prix and a couple other things that we go to, and we were selected through that national representation. Actually, it's international because there are other countries involved in it, and there's criteria that's used to make that determination. We are affiliated with American Ballet Theater, and we follow their professional training program. We're certified by them, and our school's only one of 4 in the country that has that certification.
Wow, congrats.
So it's a pretty incredible thing that we do with these students. And then we also have a pre-professional company within the school that a lot of those folks come into our professional company.
Do you have to be a professional dancer to take classes there?
No. We offer classes from 3 years old to adults.
Wow.
Now, I know there's some exciting things happening with the ballet right now. You guys have performed at the Bob Carr for years.
Yes.
But there's a new venue coming to town that you guys will be performing at. Tell us about that.
Yeah, this new shiny little object. When I moved here from Northwest Arkansas 4 months ago, everybody was saying, why Orlando? I said, well, this. Oh, and we have this something like, I don't know, $400, $500 million new performing arts center that I get to play in. So yeah, it's an awesome opportunity, and we're the first arts group, professional local arts group, that will be in Dr. Phillips starting in with our Nutcracker performance at holiday season. So we're pretty excited about that. It's going to be an incredible new era, not just for this organization, but for Central Florida.
Yeah, how exciting. Tell us about your role as executive director in the organization. What do you do?
I keep all these plates spinning. And so far I haven't been cut, so I go home every day and go, okay, I didn't drop a plate yet. So that's part of it.
Well, tell us what some of those plates are.
Well, I'm in charge of all the financial administrative side of the organization. Robert Hill's our artistic director, and he's fully in charge of the artistic side and the productions and the quality of all of that. So I oversee all the fundraising, the marketing, the administration, all that paper pushing kind of stuff. So yeah, that's my training and my background.
What are you excited to bring? What are you excited to make happen?
Well, I bring, now I have to say close to 40 years of experience in nonprofit arts management. I've worked in every major arts discipline through my life. So I think I bring a lot of experience. And like I say, having worked in all those disciplines, I understand when a ballet's performing and we're working with an orchestra, or like when we're working with the Bach Festival and chorus, working with a group of chorus members. So I understand all those component parts and how they have to fit together and the mechanics, all that. And I've had some production experience, so I feel like I know both sides of the footlights, if you will, well enough, but also know enough to stay out on the right side of the footlights.
Well, being executive director, it's like being it's a CEO of a company. So you really could go and do any line of business. Why the arts? I mean, why are you passionate about the arts? Why have you given 40 plus years to that?
That's an interesting question. I think if you ask most people, they almost invariably say, well, when I was in 2nd grade, 4th grade, and our class went to orchestra performance, a play, and I had no idea what that was about. I think that was my experience. I can vividly remember in about the 4th grade, some of the orchestra players in the small town I grew up in Arkansas, coming and demonstrating instruments. And I can still remember being just completely wrapped up in being that close to a violin and a clarinet and seeing how they functioned.
Did you ever play an instrument?
No, I sang. Well, use that term loosely. But, yeah, I started out in church choirs. Sang
Making a
all through
joyful
college.
noise.
I've sung semi-professionally a little bit in opera choruses and that kind of stuff. But I had enough good sense to retire at my peak and not hang on for the downslide.
But being an executive director of arts companies, you see how an art company can influence and make a difference in a city. Tell us how you're hoping the Orlando Ballet will make a difference for Orlando.
Yeah, I got my start with a regional arts council, Memphis Arts Council, now Arts Memphis, and that's when I first got exposed to all the arts disciplines. But because of that, our role not only was to do fundraising for them, but was to provide community service through the arts. So I got a lot of training in that outreach component, community development through the arts, and that has stuck with me. It's kind of been part of my philosophy. So I'm a true believer that the arts, dance, opera, theater, whatever it may be, orchestra, that, they're an end unto themselves. They serve a purpose just as a form of art, but they're also a means to community development and outreach and drawing a community together. I always remember I was at a national conference and a speaker, there are like 4,000 of us out there, and this guy says, you all need to always realize that the most powerful position the arts has is the ability to convene people and to convene people from all walks of life. And that's always stuck with me. That yes, the arts can draw people together and get them to understand their commonalities and what they can do together that creates synergy in a community.
Well, I love the fact that you said anyone can come to the #1 school in the country and take a class from 3 years old
Absolutely.
to an adult. Have you taken one of the classes yet?
No, I haven't. They probably, they may have
I
some
don't blame you,
policy
Jim.
barring some people. I'm probably more worried about breaking a leg. Or I have to tell you, that is one of the things, though, because I was out of direct arts management the last decade. I've been doing consulting work primarily with nonprofit arts groups. So when I took this position and came here, the first day I was here, I walked across the street from the business office and walked over to watch a class, and it was just so refreshing to stand there in the corner and watch people dance. I was like, yeah, this is why I'm back here, and this is where I wanted to be.
Yeah, dance is such a beautiful art form, as is all the arts, but what would be some advice? Being in the arts is hard. Being an arts administrator is hard. What would be some advice for someone who's looking at that as a career or trying to make it? What would you say to them?
First, that it's not that hard. It's no harder than any other business. It's a business, the side that I do. But yeah, it has its ups and downs and its pluses and minuses. But I spent a half decade in mortgage banking way back in my youth. I've worked in private business. And everyone thinks that what we do from 9 to 5 is somehow different from what someone's doing in a real business. And it's not. They're the same management issues, the same planning issues, the same funding issues.
So what does the future look like for the Orlando Ballet?
I think it's very optimistic. We have this, all these pieces why I came here and why I'm happy I was chosen to come here. We have a lifetime lease, for all intents and purposes, with the City of Orlando to manage the Lock Haven Community Center, and our plan is to remodel it and add on to it, move our central campus there and the business office, and make that the home of Orlando Ballet. Just being in partnership with the city was a real key to me, because a lot of communities I've worked in, you're kind of knocking on the door of the city and the public sector saying, hey, can we come talk? Can we tell you what we think we can do to add value? This city's different. This city gets that the arts can be an economic component. So that was a real plus. Of course, the Dr. Phyllis. The overarching is we have this incredible artistic product with Robert Hill. Our dance output, for lack of a better term, you can hold it up pretty much against anybody. And I always say, my job's easy. Everyone's like, you must have a hard job. It's like, no, the hardest part is I just have to get you in the door once. And if I get you there once and
gotta
you
come
see what
back.
we're doing, my job's done.
The hardest
You'll be
part
back.
of our job is having to stop a conversation
I
when it's
know, it
going
could
so
go on
well.
forever.
You've been a plethora of information. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you here today.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here.
Unfortunately, we are out of time, but it's been a pleasure speaking with our guest. Jim, please come back sometime, and thank you for joining us. You come back as well from the heart.